Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Florida Physique Report. This is episode number 40. Today is September 10th, 2015, and we are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. And I should say, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report because we've been off for about a month. I had some technical problems with my laptop, I'll be honest, and I had to put a new iMovie into my laptop and had some trouble learning it. So we're finally back. I got everything all set. So all the contest interviews that I've been doing over the last month, the month of August, are coming up slowly on the FloridaPhysique.com. And we've also got some great Bodybuilding Legends interviews coming up. I know that's a really popular segment, the Bodybuilding Legends Show. Got 3 interviews in the can already that I've done. Mike Quinn, Lee Haney, and Vince Taylor. So those will be coming up soon. We'll have the Mike Quinn interview up probably another week or so. So we are at episode number 40. Today is September 10th, as I said, and we got a lot going on today's show on the Florida Physique Report. We've got 3 guests on the show today. The first guest is Michaela AOK, and Michaela won her pro card at the NPC USA a little over a month ago in the women's physique division. We did an interview with her right after she won, and we never had a chance to put it up, so I'm going to put that up today. So we'll get to talk to Michaela right after the break. We've also got an interview with 2 people who got their pro card over the weekend at the very big IFBB North America Championships, which took place in Pittsburgh. It is a 3-day show. First, we're going to talk to Indianet Ortiz. She is actually from Puerto Rico, and she got her pro card in the bikini. She won the over 35 division at the North America. And then we're going to talk to Ty Pope. And Ty is a promoter. He promotes the Somi Classic with his wife, Jo. And they just did their show about a month or so ago. And he's also a judge, and he competes. He started off competing in bodybuilding, but now he switched over to men's physique. And Ty, over the weekend, got his pro card in the men's physique division, the over 40 division at the North America. So we're going to talk to both Indianet and Ty right after our break. So those will be great interviews. We got a lot to talk about on today's show. First of all, I want to talk about what's coming up this weekend. We got 2 shows coming up again. One is called the Precision Fit Championships, and I believe this is the first year that they're having this show. It's a national qualifier. It's going to be on September 12th. It's going to take place at the LC Campus Theater in Palm Beach Gardens, and the promoter is Janice Garrido, and I believe trains a lot of people out in the southern Florida area, and I believe this is her first contest promotion, so we wish her the best of luck. If you want more information about this contest, the Precision Fit Championships, go to precisionfitpb.com, and they'll give you all the information you need. Also coming up this weekend is another contest that's taking place for the very first time. It's called the Iron Bay Classic. It takes place right out here in Riverview, which is close to Tampa, Florida. It's at the Spado High School, and Jose Santiago is going to be the promoter for that contest. If you want more information on that, go to ironbayclassic.com, and FloridaPhysique.com will be there this weekend covering the Iron Bay Classic. So that's what's coming up this weekend. Let's talk about this huge North America contest that took place over the weekend, last weekend. It took place from September 3rd through 5th. It was actually a 3-day event. It was a gigantic competition. There was a total in the NPC division of 1,526 competitors. That included 305 men bodybuilders, 41 women bodybuilders, 355 men's physique, 131 women's physique, 298 figure, 14 fitness, and 382 bikini. Unbelievable, and they gave out a ton of pro cards. They also had a pro division that took place on Thursday night, and this was for people who got their pro cards within the NPC. So you couldn't have a pro like Dexter Jackson going in who's over 40. So it was for the masters only, and it was a pro division for the masters competitors who got their pro card through the NPC. So we had a couple of people from Florida who did really well. Frank Same, who just got his pro card, I believe, at the Masters Nationals. And Frank went in his first pro show, and he got 3rd in the Pro Men's Physique Masters. So congratulations to Frank. Also, Osiris Prieto, who we did an interview with not too long ago. She competed and she got second in the Pro Masters Bikini. And then Holly Beck, who's a Florida resident, also took second in the over 45 division of the Pro Masters Figure. So congratulations to all them. Now, out of the Florida athletes who got their pro card at the North America, we already mentioned Ty Pope, who got his pro card in the Masters Men's Physique over 40. He took second place in that division, and they gave it out to the top two. And then, of course, Indianet Ortiz, who won the bikini over 35 overall. She won the overall in that. She got her pro card. We also want to mention Tanya Simpson, who is part of Tim Gardner's team. She got her pro card in the women's physique. Ana Acevedo, who I believe is from the South Florida area, she got her pro card by winning Class B in the bikini over 40. And to show you how many pro cards they gave out at the North America, they gave out 8 for the men bodybuilders. 3 women bodybuilders got their pro card. Men's Physique gave out 29 pro cards. So we got 29 new pros in the Men's Physique division coming just from this last weekend at the North America. Women's Physique gave out 8 new pro cards. Fitness gave out 2 new pro cards. Figure and Bikini both gave out 17 new pro cards. So a lot of new IFBB pros coming from this weekend at the North America. I also want to mention Arlene Oliva, who's competed a lot on the national level, and she's a Florida resident. She got 3rd place in Class A, so that was a really good placing for her, and she looked really, really good. All right, so that's what happened at the North America. Another big event that took place this weekend, or this week I should say, is the NPC announced a new division that's going to be starting in 2016. It's going to be called Classic Physique. So it's sort of a division, I guess you could say, is between men's physique and men's bodybuilding. A lot of people were speculating that a classic bodybuilding was going to take place. This takes place, I guess, in the IFBB in Europe, and this is where they have weight restrictions based on your height. So if you're 5'9", you can only weigh a certain level, and if you're 5'10", you can only weigh up to a certain point. So they base it based on how much you weigh, based on your height. So basically, they're looking for a more classical type of physique, as the name says, more symmetrical physique, smaller waist. So with the new division that the NPC is offering, it's going to be called Classic Physique. The guys will not be wearing board shorts, and they will not be wearing posing trunks either. They're going to wear something in between, like the spandex shorts. So this will show the legs more. So if the men's physique guys are going to switch over to the Classic Physique, now you're going to have to show your legs. They'll also be doing posing. Instead of just standing from the front and the back, they're going to be doing a 1-minute posing routine. And I assume they're also going to be doing the mandatory poses to be compared. But they won't be doing a most muscular. So this is a new interesting development. I'm sure a lot of guys from men's physique are going to be switching over. And when they go to the men's physique starting in 2016, they're going to be looking for a smaller look, sort of what men's physique started off to be. And it's gotten bigger and bigger over the years. So now they're going back to that look. They want a smaller, more of a beach body look. And then the Classic Physique will be a more muscular look, but not quite bodybuilding, because there's going to be weight restrictions based on your height. And they're looking, as I said, more for a classical Frank Zane type, symmetry type physique. So that's it. It should be really interesting to see what happens coming up in 2016. We got a new division coming up in the NPC. They also said in the interview that was with Jim Mannion and Sandy Williamson, Frank Seppi did the interview on NPC News Online. They said that with women's physique and figure, they're going to start toning it down a little bit. They're going to not look for more of a, they don't want a muscular, hard physique. They're going to tone that look down a little bit so the women are a little bit less muscular and a little bit softer. So that should be interesting too, and I think that's a step in the right direction. So the NPC keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is a new division, so it should be pretty exciting, and we'll see what happens next year in 2016. All right, let's talk about what happened last weekend. There was 2 competitions. The first one took place in Coral Gables, Florida. It was the Somi Classic, and that was on September 5th. Thank you to Mike Sansevero from North American Bodies. He contributed the photos to us. We have the photo report on floridaphysique.com. And thank you also again to Maria Belando for getting me the scores. And she does that so quickly. She gave them to me on Saturday night. Thank you again, Maria. So let's go over the results real quick. In the women's figure, we had a winner in all 3 divisions. Her name is Stenia Kronberg Mikkelsen, and I saw her at the Naples show a couple of weeks ago. I believe she's a client of Paco Hernandez, who was the promoter from the Naples Sports Festival, it was called this year. And Stina, I believe, is from Norway, and I don't know if she's visiting or she's moved here to Florida, but she was competing in the figure, and she really cleaned up at the Somi Classic. Like I said, she won the figure open, she won the Masters over 30, and she won the novice. So congratulations to her. And the Bikini Open, Blanca Siles was the winner, a very young, pretty girl. She had a really good look and some good competition. All the class winners, I believe they had 6 height classes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and Blanca won the overall, and all the class winners looked really good. Rebecca Hurst, who I believe won Class A in Bikini Open, she also won the novice bikini. Elena Romero was unopposed in the women's physique. There was only one competitor, and she was it. She won the women's physique open and the women's physique novice, I believe. And then Raul Garcia, and we've seen him compete several times this year, especially in the South Florida area. He won his class at the Southern States. He won the Miami Muscle, and I believe he just won another contest a couple weeks ago. He's still competing. He's still on his diet. He won the men's bodybuilding open and the Masters. So congratulations to Raul. He looked fantastic, very, very ripped. He's got a really good physique. And I also want to mention the other weight class winners because they were all really good. There wasn't a lot of bodybuilders, but they were all looked really good. Harry Castillo won the middleweight division. He was shredded, very ripped physique. And he also won the novice overall. And then Julian Cascante, if I'm saying that right, Cascante. He won the heavyweight division. I seen Julian compete at the Naples Sports Festival a couple weeks ago, and he had a big crowd there supporting him. This kid's got a great physique. He came in smooth for the Naples show, but he was much harder for this contest. Big guy, tall, real wide shoulders, small waist. He's really good shape and good muscle mass. He looks like a young guy. So Julian, I hope you keep going with it. You've got the physique. Just keep refining it and keep working on it, and I think you're going to be a big winner because you've got the structure, and that's just something that a lot of guys lack. In the men's physique division, another really good winner, Vicente Santana, who won the Open and the Masters, and I think Vicente is a perfect example of someone who is the ideal men's physique competitor. He's not too big, but he had a really good-looking physique, muscular but not too big, and really cut but not shredded. Just a good physique that you would see walking down the beach, which I think is what they're looking for at men's physique. So Vicente was the good winner there, or big winner there, I should say. And Arturo Mata won the novice men's physique. So not a lot of competitors. It was Labor Day weekend, so maybe that had some impact on the Somi Classic. But a lot of good competitors, as usual, with that South Florida area. There are always really good quality physiques out there. All right, and then we went to the Royal Palm Classic, which also took September 5th. I was out there. We have the full photo report up at floridaphysique.com, and we have the interviews up also. They should be up this week. So I was out there. It was a really good show. Calvin Choi was the promoter. I believe this was the 8th year they had this show. Peter McGuff was out there with his significant other, Ann. And it was great seeing them. They were at the Naples show also. Peter, of course, works for musculardevelopment.com, and he's a legend in the industry. He used to work for Joe Weider at Flex Magazine. He really was the figurehead of Flex Magazine back in the 90s. And then he went to work for a little bit for Muscle Mag International when Joe Weider stopped promoting or publishing his publication. And now he's with musculardevelopment.com. He's both online and in the magazine. Without a doubt, the best writer in the bodybuilding world. So Peter has a lot of history behind him, and it's always great to see him and great to hang out with him and talk to him. And he likes going out to the local shows, and he's from the Fort Myers area, so he came out and supported the Royal Palm Classic. So let's go over the results from that show. Sylvie Horka was the winner in the Masters figure and the Open figure division. And we did an interview with Sylvie. She's only been training for a short period of time, and she's got some great before and after pictures. In the men's physique, Adolfi Adrias was the winner in the Open, and I believe he also won the novice. And Adolfi, I believe, also is a newcomer to the physique world, but got a really good physique, real thick, and sort of a short guy, but had a real nice-looking physique. And Gage Castellano, who was the over 50 winner in the Masters men's physique, also beat out the over 40 winner to win the overall Masters men's physique. They also had some great guest posers I want to mention. Calvin, sort of a short guy himself, brought in 3 shorter guys from the 212 division. Sean Clarita, who is 2 weeks out from competing in the Mr. Olympia in his first contest, his first Olympia. He's doing really well, only 150-something pounds. Sean turned pro as a bantamweight and has gradually increased his weight by about 20 pounds, and now he's winning 212 divisions at only 150-something pounds. So we got a good interview with Sean on the FloridaPhysique.com, so check that out. Also, Santiago Aragon. Santi has been guest posing all over the Florida area this year in 2015, and he is taking this year off to get ready for next year, 2016. He's always a great poser. And then finally, Derek the Tank Leverant, who was also a guest poser at the Naples Sports Festival. All 3 of these guys came out and posed together to the delight of the audience, and it was really, really good. Going back to the contest, Odalis Garcia was in the bikini. She won both the Masters and the Novice, and Odalis also won the older class, the over 40, and then she won the overall. So the older people taking over this weekend at the Royal Palm Classic. In the open bikini, Kristen Dunn won Class C, and she won the overall. In the novice bodybuilding, Gerby Joseph won the overall there. And then in the masters bodybuilding, Jay Deaver, who's won a lot of competitions in the Florida area. He often competes in the South Florida area. Jay has extremely hard leg development, really good, thick legs and glutes, and really, really hard. So congratulations to Jay. And then the open bodybuilding, Joshua Montemayor, who won his class at the Naples Sports Festival, came back to this show a week later and took first place overall. Last weekend, he took second place to Jeffrey Delaney in the overall at the Naples Sports Festival. He won his class but didn't win the overall. So this weekend, he did win the overall in the open bodybuilding. So congratulations to Joshua. He's got a really good physique, good shape, really good delts, wide shoulders, and a small waist. I believe he's taking the rest of the year off, and then he's going to come back next year. So that is it. A lot to cover this week on the Florida Physique Report, and we are going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by our 3 guests. First, Michaela AOK, the women's physique winner at the MPC USA. She is the new pro from Florida. And then we're going to be joined by Indianet Ortiz from Puerto Rico, who won the bikini division at the over 35 at the North America. She is another new IFBB pro. And then Ty Pope, our men's physique over 40 winner in the North America, and he is a new pro. So that is it for the wrap-up of the Florida Physique Report. We're going to take a break from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with our guests. Stay with us. Check out NFE All Natural Warrior Supplements, featuring pure isolate protein made with natural stevia flavor, 1 gram of sugar and no fat. NFE Trim, thermogenic fat burner, boost your metabolism, suppress your appetite, build strength, develop muscle, and shed that body fat. Go to NFE.com today.
NFE stands for No Freaking Excuses.
Guest this week is Michaela AOK, who just got her pro card at the MPC USA Championships in Las Vegas last weekend. She won the women's physique Class A. How you doing, Michaela?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So how did it feel to win your pro card?
You know, it's really, like, yesterday is really when it started to hit me. I think, like, Saturday when it happened, it wasn't, like, a shock because, you know, I went in wanting to achieve that, but in that sense, but it was just like an out-of-body experience, you know. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I talked to a few people who got their pro cards, and they all say the same thing. It takes a few days for it to sink in, you know.
It does. Just because you know you work so long to get to that point, and then when it's finally there, it's happening, and you know you just want to soak it all in.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your career. When did you start weight training, and what got you into competing?
I started, I don't really have like this interesting story about what got me into bodybuilding or anything like that. Anything I do, I kind of just I like to go full force
Mm-hmm.
ahead. So once I started training, I really got to liking it and just wanted to go further, started seeing things about competing. So I got with my coach in, I believe it was June or July of 2013,
Okay.
and I did my first figure show in November 2013, and then
What show was that,
uh,
Michaela? Do you remember?
it was the Kentucky Muscle,
Oh, okay.
and that was my first ever show. And then after that, I kind of I did qualify for nationals, but I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready, and so took off since then. And then we started this prep about, I believe it was February, and I did my first women's physique show. Um, it was the Lakeland Classic, I believe.
Uh huh.
It was the one that Deb's gym puts on in
Yeah.
Lakeland. And then a couple weeks after that, I did or I won the overall at that show in Lakeland and qualified. And then I did another qualifier in Alabama, which was NPC Clash at the Capstone. And then from there, 2 weeks after that is when USA's was. So,
Okay. So you started off with figure, and then you went to women's physique, and you did about 2 women's physique shows before you did the USA.
yes, sir.
Okay. So did it take you a while to learn how to do the posing and stuff? Because I know with figure you don't have to do that, so that's a whole new dimension to
No,
women's
I
physique.
got it. That was the most nerve wracking thing for me getting into prep was the posing. But so being that it was the most nerve wracking thing, it's something that I really worked on. I really, tried to perfect because that's something that I kind of have a goal for myself. I don't just want to be another competitor. I want to stand apart, do
Mm-hmm.
whatever I think it takes to get to the top spot. So I got with Kenny Wallach, and he really really helped me a lot. So
Okay. Now did Kenny do it all by Skype?
yes,
Okay. So tell us what Kenny does, because I met Kenny last year at the Nationals, and I know he works with a lot of people, and he's helped a lot of people. How does that work, where he helps you with your posing by Skype?
I met Kenny through my coach Matt Jansen, and um, he gave me his number, and I contacted him, and it was I was kind of skeptical at first with the whole Skype thing, but
Yeah.
it works perfect, and Kenny's the nicest guy you will ever meet, and he really makes you feel really comfortable, really confident, and you just run through your poses, and he can literally like any little movement he can make, he will make, and he will fix you.
Now, when it came to putting together your routine, how did that all work? Because I mean, you have to do something that fits your personality and your poses
Right.
that are right for your physique and everything.
As far as the route, like my night routine, I put that together myself. It had a lot of he helped me with my like individual presentation for prejudging,
Mm-hmm.
but my routine, it had a lot of the same poses that he put together for me in my presentation, just because those are what looks best on me and things
Yeah.
like that.
How did you decide what music to use?
Uh, I was just like scrolling through songs on YouTube, and I found this one, and it was just kind of one of those ones that you can just kind of feel, and it just kind of gets you going. So
Uh huh.
yeah, that's how I chose it.
So tell us a little bit about the USA. What kind of was that your first national level show?
It was. It
Yeah.
was.
And
Yeah, I
how
went
was
in
that?
a little nervous, obviously. Not I went in like I said, my goal is always to do the best that I can do. So I went in with the intentions of obviously, wanting to win. Now whether that happened or not, that's not up to me at that point. But
Yeah.
um, I went in with those intentions, but fully not knowing what to expect at all. It being my first national show,
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect, but I just wanted to go up there and have a good time and do my best at holding my own, and it ended up faring out pretty well. So
Was it intimidating with the number of competitors and just the overwhelming part of the whole show? With so many competitors and so many days.
no, I wouldn't say so. It was a really cool experience because, like, with the way social media is, all these people, but you don't know them at all.
Yeah.
So it was one of those shows where you walk into check-ins and you just see all these people that you see all the time. That's kind of like a social media celebrity get together or something like that.
Right. And then how was it at the prejudging? How many girls were in your class, and like how did you feel you were doing right off the
I
bat?
believe there was 8 in my class,
Okay.
in class A.
And did you feel like you were doing really well right off the bat when they did the mandatories?
I did, like I got up there and I was this was the first show that I was, just pretty nervous at, just wanting to do good or whatever like that. And,
Yeah.
but once I'm up there, it's like a whole different, you turn into a different person. It's a whole different world up there.
Yeah.
And, you don't worry about anything else. You're just feeling it and hitting your poses. And, when we came back for the comparisons, and I told my coach, I was like, the best thing I've ever heard was when they called my number. They said it was 160 or 159. Can you move between 162 and 165? And just like, it's when your heart sinks to your toes. So.
Yeah. So you knew right then that you were going in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an incredible feeling.
Yeah. And so, as we were saying before, it takes a while to sink in after the whole experience of it, because it's a little overwhelming on the day of the show, huh?
Yeah, I came off stage on Saturday after the after finals, right when I had won my class, when I was waiting for the overall, and you got all these people, they're coming up to you, congratulating you and all this and all that, and you're just standing there. It's not like in shock, but it was just like I wasn't there.
Yeah, right. So what do you think you need to work on with your physique as you move into the pros now?
A lot. Pretty much just bring up everything. As far as just like time, muscle maturity, being like, that was my first national show. I believe I have a long ways to go yet, but I'm fully prepared and ready and really excited to make the improvements and represent the IFBB to the best of my ability.
What's your training like, Michaela? How many days a week do you train? Do you train pretty heavy? How do you do that?
Yes, sir. I train heavy. I train. Matt Jansen does my programming, and we've all throughout prep we kept like the same exact programming, and I believe that it helped me out. Instead of changing variables all the time, like it helped me gauge my strength. It helped. I didn't lose much strength at all, really, and just kept the compound lifts, at the forefront of our training. And I believe it really helped with the density and the fullness of the muscle as well.
Okay. Is that what your goal was as moving into women's physique from figure, was to put on more size and increase the size of the muscles?
It was, but for me, I was actually one of the smaller girls at the show, but for me, I believe more isn't always better. Better is better. So
Yeah.
any improvements I can make, whether it's adding size, adding tissue, or just overall improvements,
Yeah. When you get ready for a show, how long do you diet for, and what's your cardio like and stuff?
This one, cardio got pretty lengthy, just because we knew we had to get better condition, obviously, than what I was in figure that first time. But so we started dieting the countdown in February. So I believe that's ends up being top of 20 something weeks, I believe.
Wow.
I haven't counted exactly, but it was a long process, but it paid off and really started coming together at the end. And
Yeah. How much cardio are you doing per week?
I was doing I believe towards the end I was doing 45 minutes in the morning and 30 at night.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
But then like really though, after that first show I did in Lakeland, I did that show, and kind of after that, we were able to decrease cardio a little bit and start increasing food, increasing intake,
Hmm.
and just started looking better, still getting leaner, still dropping weight, making new lows with
Yeah.
pulling cardio and adding more food. So yeah,
Wow.
that was really great.
So your metabolism was really increasing at that point because you're getting
Right,
so lean, yeah.
right.
So do you know what you're going to do next now in the future in the pros? Have you had that planned out yet?
I don't. That was the thing. Like before the show, before the USA's, I was like, well, what am I gonna just? You're kind of thinking about what are you gonna do after,
Yeah.
But it was kind of one of those deals to where you couldn't really think about what you're gonna do after because you don't know what to expect.
Hmm.
So, and I never want to be one that says like if I win or if I don't, or it was always just whatever happens, happens, and then after that, we'll figure it out. So,
Yeah.
I don't have any specific plans other than to just keep getting better. And when the time comes that I think I believe I'm ready and my coach thinks I'm ready, we'll start dabbing into something. But as far as like a show, I don't have anything in particular picked. I just want to set my career up to or set myself up for the best success for my career.
Yeah.
So,
I imagine you need a break after dieting since February, though,
yeah.
huh? Okay. Well, do you want anybody you want to thank in your journey to the USA or to the pro card?
Definitely. My coach, Matt Jansen, and his wife, I've been at his house since my second show, just like dieting and finishing out prep here. And that, they helped me with everything. I wouldn't have been where I was without them. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously my parents, I wouldn't be where I am without them. And I love them to death. My mom, she did everything for me this past weekend at the USA's.
Yeah.
It definitely wouldn't have been possible without her. But yeah, just them mainly. That's God obviously as well, but
Yeah. Are you from Florida originally, Michaela?
I am.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations, and it's great to see you brought the pro card back to Florida, and
Yeah.
we got another pro in the Florida ranks. So congratulations, Michaela, and we'll see you on the pro scene pretty soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the Florida Physique Report.
Uh-huh.
All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my special guest this week is Indianet Ortiz, joining us from Puerto Rico, and she just got her pro card over the weekend out in Pittsburgh at the North American, and her boyfriend Jose is joining us also, and Jose is going to help translate. How you doing, Jose?
Good.
All right, Jose, let me start off by asking how long Indianet has been working out. Like, when did she start working out and getting ready for these competitions?
¿Cuánto tiempo tú llevas entrenando y ready para estas competencias?
Bueno, yo llevo desde el 2010 entrenando en gimnasio, pero como bikini llevo desde enero.
She started on the 2010 and doing the figure.
Okay.
But on bikini, on the bikini class, she started on January.
Just this year, yeah.
Yep.
Now, what made her switch over from figure to bikini?
¿Qué te hizo cambiar de figura a bikini?
Que ya en figura están exigiendo más músculo y entonces pues tenía más tiempo al gimnasio y como yo tengo una niña, pues no puedo hacer tantas cosas al mismo tiempo.
There was a change from last year to this one. The figure we're looking for more muscles, more shoulders, a lot more time to be spending on the gym. And she's actually a single mother. That's why she was like thinking about switching to bikini. Since bikini is a little bit more easy, just doing the right cardio stuff and doing the right nutrition.
Okay. Now, I noticed she has a very a curvy physique. You know, she's not very thin. She has some muscle on her, especially her legs and her glutes and stuff. But that seems to work well for her, huh? Competing in bikini.
Él nota que tú tienes en algunas áreas mucho músculo, o sea, que tienes muchas piernas y muchos glúteos, que parece que eso te está trayendo éxito en bikini. ¿Qué le digo?
Sí, es verdad, los glúteos y mis músculos, aunque están un poquito más suaves que cuando estaba en figura, les llama más la atención porque me estoy viendo diferente, un poquito diferente y un poquito como más superior a las demás competidoras.
Yeah, like she's telling me that that's one of the main things since the first show on Daytona. That everybody was telling her, you look pretty nice and you look awesome and you can win the stage everywhere, but you still have a lot too much muscles.
Okay.
She knows that her legs are the strongest thing that she has because she has a really I gotta say up butt, like really rounded butt.
Yeah.
But she keeps saying that she's gonna keep working to lower it down a little bit more and more and more and more, and she just stopped actually doing anything on the gym. She just used probably 2-pound dumbbells.
Oh, really? Okay.
Barely do leg press, barely do squats, barely do leg extensions. I mean, she's barely doing nothing on the gym. She just trains people, and that's it.
Yeah. I personally think it's a good look, and I thought, you know, when I saw the pictures from the Battle of the Beach, and she won everything there. I mean, I remember seeing her. That's where I first remember seeing her, and all the divisions she entered, she won, and she really cleaned up there. And I thought that was a good. I think that was a good idea from the judges, you know, to go for a look like that, which is more curvy and not just real skinny, you know, like a lot of the bikini girls are.
Yeah, and from my part, on this last show on the Pittsburgh, when she was on the line on backstage, I went on to the front, and I told her, listen, let me go to the front and see if they're gonna choose soft girls or they're gonna choose some lines. I was went up to the front of the stage, and I saw the first call out for the Class A. And they were taking off every single lines, like people like her. I mean, just to have a little bit muscles, like a real bikini should be.
Right.
I came back to the line and I said, listen, I'm pretty sure we got a real big chance.
Yeah.
We're thinking about making the Open, like the top 5. We just got stuck in there. But I told her, listen, if we were on the call out on the Open, I'm pretty sure you can win the 35 and over, the master class.
Yeah. And that's the one she won, right? Over 35, and then that's how she got her pro card.
Yeah, we got 4th place on the Open, and on the 31st and over, we won the overall on the pro card over there.
Okay. So did she change her training at all from the Battle on the Beach to go into this North America several months later?
¿Qué cambiaste del entrenamiento de Battle of the Beach de Daytona ahora a North America?
Sí, cambié más intensidad en el cardio, en la mañana y por la noche, y hacer las pesas más repeticiones y con 5 libras. O sea, no podía hacer mucho peso.
Like I said before, switch the weights, just 2-pounders.
Yeah.
On the cardio, that was the main step up. The cardio was like early in the morning. I mean, she's really tough. She gets up every single day of the week at 5 o'clock in the morning, and she does an hour of cardio right there on that little bike right there on the side.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, she does an hour straight out of cardio.
Yeah.
In the morning, and then late at night she gets on the treadmill and do another hour.
Wow.
That was the main switch, the cardio, so she can lower down the like we said, the muscles.
Okay. So now that she's got her pro card, does she have any idea of what she's going to do next as far as her first pro show?
La pregunta de todo. Ahora que tiene la tarjeta ProCard, que si tienes alguna idea de cuándo va a ser el próximo Pro Show.
todos me hacen la misma pregunta. Yo pensaba que iba a comer y a descansar un rato, pero mi gente me están apoyando y sí, ya quiero volver para arriba.
Everybody keeps asking her that the same question. She thought she was gonna eat more. Every single day she's gonna keep eating back, but they just send her the nutrition and everything. The whole thing is that since this show we were so silent and keep it up to ourselves, nobody actually knew that. No, even in my gym, people knew that we were going the day before, just like an hour before we leave on the airplane.
Yeah, wow.
So we were trying to keep it like really quiet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We're thinking about going to the Fort Lauderdale Cup.
Okay.
And we're just waiting for the bombshells for Vanessa and Shannon to tell us what to do.
Okay.
If they want us to go over there, that would be great. If not, we're just gonna wait for the first show next year. I'm pretty sure we're gonna try. Listen, her first main goal for her was to win the pro card.
Yeah.
As soon as she got off of the stage, she told Ashley that she wanted to be on stage with her. So we're gonna try out.
Who was Ashley, Jose? Who was Ashley?
Ashley Kaltwasser.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was doing the interviews, right? Okay.
And for the NPC on News Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told that she wanted to be on stage with her, so she wants to make the Olympia. I'm gonna back her up. I'm gonna be there, and we're gonna try our best.
Great. Well, Tim Gardner out here in Tampa, he's the new NPC chairman for Puerto Rico, so he wants to have a lot more shows in Puerto Rico, and they might have some pro shows out there too next year in 2016.
When we were coming back, we saw him on the airplane. I think he was sleeping, so that's why we didn't bother him.
Yeah.
But he told we wrote him on he wrote her on Facebook and told us that next show in Puerto Rico will be May 29.
Okay.
But we don't want to wait down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna try. We want to try at the beginning, at the top of the year, and then we're gonna keep working down. But definitely, we're gonna do the pro show for Tim Garner. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations to Indianet, and thank you, Jose, for translating. And we will be at the Fort Lauderdale Cup, FloridaPhysique.com. So hopefully you guys will be out there, and we'll get to see you out there. But congratulations for bringing the pro card back to Puerto Rico. I know it's a big step, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future. And I'm glad you got to talk to us.
All right. Thank you, John. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see you over there.
All right.
And we're gonna try our best. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining us on FloridaPhysique.com, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Thank you. All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my next guest for this week is Ty Pope, and Ty also received his pro card in the men's physique at the North America in the over 40 division. How you doing, Ty?
I'm real good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So how's it feel to be a IFBB pro after all these years?
Hey, it was a long journey. Feels good. It felt good that night to finally accomplish what you set out to do. So it feels good, man.
Yeah, I'll bet. So Ty, tell us a little bit about your background. I see you at the shows all the time. I know you and your wife put on a show every year, and you're also a judge. But tell us about your competition background. When did you start competing in bodybuilding?
I think I started competing, has to be about 15, 16 years ago now.
Okay.
I've been married 21 years, so I'd say probably between 15 years of that, about 15 years of that, we've been competing. And
okay.
I went to one show with a good friend and watched him, and I fell in love, and the bug bit me.
Okay.
And I haven't turned back since, man.
And you and your wife, Joe, you guys do it together, right? Because she just competed a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. We try to a house that prays and trains together. They stay together, man. So
right.
We try to do it all together.
Yeah, I think some of these relationships where one person's into it and the other's not, that's got to be really tough because it's such a lifestyle, you know.
Yeah, and we feed off of each other, and I push her, and I think she pushes me, and
Right.
it seems to bring out the best in both of us.
Yeah. Now, how many shows did you do as a bodybuilder?
Oh man, about 14 years worth, Doc.
Wow.
Yeah, I can tell you how many I did as physique better. I only did three.
Okay. What was the main
Yeah.
reason for the switch from bodybuilding to physique?
Um, Years and years of going to nationals, knocking on the door, but being told over and over, if you were a little thicker, if you had a little more size, the symmetry and the physique was always there.
Hmm.
Just could never put that thickness on.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hard headed. My wife told me years ago to switch. But once a bodybuilder, we're always bodybuilders at heart.
Right.
I finally decided a year ago to listen to my wife. Guys, listen to your wife. And 1 year later, we're IFBB Pro, so I think
Yeah.
she knew what she was talking about.
So, how did your training and diet switch for when you went over to physique from bodybuilding?
Well, the funny thing is, John, I was too small for bodybuilding, but too big for physique.
Yeah.
So I went on zero carbs.
Wow. Really? No kidding.
Yeah, zero carbs and 2 sessions of 45-minute cardio a day to just try to streamline it the best I could. And I think we did okay. My posing was horrible, but I think we did okay with the physique.
Now, doing the no carbs, twice a day cardio, did your weight really drop from that?
It didn't really drop once it got to, because in bodybuilding I competed around 215, 220.
Okay.
Once I got to 209, 208, it didn't really make a bunch of changes, but I did notice I was getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah. Yeah. I just talked to Tony Curtis over the weekend, and we were talking about you getting your pro card, and he's like, "Man, he never looked that good when he was bodybuilding. He's so ripped now."
Hey, I guess I should have really dieted when I was bodybuilding.
Yeah. Should have did the low carbs then.
Hey, I was trying to keep some mass, man. I think, like I said, I finally listened to my wife and got where I probably needed to be a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I saw you at the Southern States, and I noticed too. I mean, you really had a great taper and a real small waist. You had a real good shape. So I'm not surprised to see that you got your pro card finally.
Hey, thank you, man. We learn over time. You like to think we get wiser as we get older. So
Yeah.
um, I wanted bodybuilding. I probably inside I'm still a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
but I'm very happy to be rewarded for the physique that we've tried to put together over the years.
Yeah. Now, I just saw yesterday the MPC announced they're going to have a new division starting in 2016 called Classic Physique, and it looks like it's like an upgrade from men's physique where they're going to be more muscular physiques, and they're going to be wearing the tighter shorts, I forget what they call them, but like they're not posing trunks, but they're not board shorts. And they're going to be doing posing. Would you be thinking about maybe switching over to that? Because I guess you can do whatever division you want now as a pro.
Yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the physique championship right now. you know,
Not thinking about your first pro
I'm
show.
just happy to have started a journey and to seen the end of it. I'll listen to my wife again and get into whatever category probably fits the best for my
Yeah.
physique. But I would think that category would fit me, but I mean those guys may end up being big or so I don't know, wherever I fit in best, we'll just go there.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's going to be a weight restriction based on your height, and that's how they're going to do this new category.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting then.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it,
Yeah, but the difference is you'll get to pose. I guess they'll do a 1 minute posing routine, and they're going to do poses at the prejudging and things like that.
And then we get to show the legs again, right?
Yeah, because the shorts will be shorter, right?
That should be interesting, man. I look forward to if not participating in it, being able to judge the guys in it.
Yeah. Now, are you done for the year, Ty? Are you going to keep competing this year? Are you going to do a pro show?
I'm done.
You're done for the year?
I'm done. Did you hear me say I've been on zero?
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm sure the last few days have been fun eating, huh?
Yeah, I think I'll sit out anything else, and I do train a lot of clients, so I'll live the dream through them and get them ready and see what next year has available for me.
Yeah. What's the name of your gym that you and Joe run out there?
It's called Total U Fitness.
Okay. And where's that at, Ty?
We're in Altamont Springs, right off 436 Major Highway.
Okay.
It's just a personal training studio, but we've grown leaps and bounds and really would like to expand right now. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, it's doing great, man. I'm full, she's full, and I'm trying to bring another trainer on and
Wow.
keep them up. So it's
That's
pretty
great.
nice.
And then you guys just won a team award, right, at a show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, over in Lakeland.
At the Lakeland.
My team now is it's almost about 50 people, which is big for me. So it's exciting to be able to pour into lives and
Yeah.
bodies transform. I get more out of that, I think, than even succeeding myself.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Do you get more out of helping the clients than doing it yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
I am passionate about what they're doing, and I don't know. I when we have our own personal gains, that's great. But there's nothing more rewarding than being a part of someone else reaching their goals, and
Right.
that's what life's all about.
Yeah. Now, are most of your clients just regular people trying to get in shape, or are they looking to compete?
I have probably a mixture of everybody. Transformations, regular people trying to get in shape. I've got people getting ready for marathons, triathlons, and then I have our share of competitors too. So it's a huge mix. It leads for great diversity and just a lot of fun when we're in that studio.
Yeah. Do you guys help with the posing too, then, for the people that are getting ready to compete?
And we help with the posing, and
Yeah.
whatever fee I charge, there's no extra for posing. Things that you may have to go out and get other places, we do it all in house. So maybe that's why they're flocking to me. I don't know, but either
Yeah.
way, I'm just happy to be a part of what they're someone's journey and seeing them achieve their goals.
Well, it's got to be a big advantage too that you and Joe are both not only promoters but also judges. So you know what the judges look for, and you're getting it from a judge's perspective too.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to think that, even though sometimes they don't think too favorable of judges.
Yeah.
We'd like to think that they have an advantage.
Right. So how about Joe? Is she done for the year too?
No, man, she'll be on stage this Saturday.
Oh, okay. At the Iron Maiden, right? Okay. And then
Yeah, she'll be over at the show this Saturday. I think it's outside of Tampa, Riverview, or
yeah, it's not too far from Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that will be her last for the year.
Okay.
Pray for me, man.
All right. All right, Ty. Well, thanks for joining us on Florida Physique, and congratulations again on winning your pro card. That was great. I think everybody from the Florida area, the Central District, we're all happy to see that. And congratulations, and we hopefully we'll see you next year on the pro stage.
Hey, thank you so much, man. And to everyone out there, just keep plugging and achieving your goals. And don't ever give up. It took me 15 years, but you can still accomplish it.
That's right. You're never too old.
Never too old. Thanks a lot, John.
All right, Ty. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
See you soon, buddy.
Okay, take care.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Florida Physique Report, episode number 40. We will be back next week to give the results of the Precision Fit Championships, which takes place this weekend at Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And also we'll have the results of the Iron Bay Classic. which takes place this weekend in Riverview, Florida. So join us next week on the Florida Physique Report. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.